Welcome to Fandom Power.
What's up, everybody? It's Wes, Andy, and Hank, and we are back once again for a regularish. It's the Sunday night installment of Fandom Power, previously occupied by by
the
our
Fandalorian
review series.
And...
That's right. Tonight, Star Wars Visions, Volume 2. Season 2, Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
9 new episodes. It's been out now for what? A couple weeks.
It came out May the 4th.
That's right. Star Wars Day.
Yes, it did.
Star Wars. That's what I did on Star Wars Day, actually. I watched them.
Watch a bunch.
I watched them all.
I broke it up into a couple sittings.
I probably should have. But I didn't. Man. Before we get to Visions, we should probably run through a couple of things. First of all,
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Happy Mother's Day in whatever galaxy you reside in.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you had an awesome day. What else? We got Mother's Day. Oh yeah, we got this little thing. It's this little thing that we like to do here, and it's called Bad Star Wars Jokes. Andy, you got a bad Star Wars joke?
I got one for you. What do you call stormtroopers playing Monopoly?
Go straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
The detention block.
Go straight to the detention block.
How about Game of Clones?
What?
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. Stormtroopers play Monopoly, a game of clones. Wow. This has been your installment of Bad Star Wars Jokes. It feels like we're kind of back on track here this week. We are talking Star Wars again. So if you've come here for the Star Wars, hey,
you're in luck.
Come for the Star Wars and stay for the beard. Thing I like about Star Wars is that it's multi-generational.
Totally.
I mean, I did not see. Now, I've asked this question before. I'm going to ask it again. Did you guys see any of the original trilogy in its original theatrical run?
I did not.
Yeah.
My first in theater was Phantom Menace.
The Phantom Menace. For me, it was Jedi. I didn't see Jedi until, Jedi was the only one I saw in its original run. It was at a drive-in movie theater, and I was smuggled in the back of a station wagon.
Nice. I had the luxury of seeing all three in the theater. I even saw they did when Return of the Jedi came out, and I was living in Scarborough. They had a 3-banger. They had a triple feature. So
oh wow,
I got to see them all back to back in the theater.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I did line up for opening night though for the special edition re-releases. So I did get a theatrical experience.
Nice.
Definitely.
I feel kind of disappointed though. I checked for Return of the Jedi, the 40th anniversary. It was nothing close to where we are, Andy.
Yeah.
No. Was there anything even in Canada?
There was Cineplex. Certain Cineplexes were showing it.
Yeah, I didn't get nothing.
Just nothing close to us. So
no.
Would have liked to have gone to see it theatrically again.
I just went and saw Guardians 3 twice. That's all.
Guardians 3. We did talk about Guardians 3 on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh man, tears.
Told you.
You had tears. I had tears,
buddy.
I had a couple of moments there.
I tears the second time, and I knew it was coming.
That's just how.
If anything, it was. I cried more the second time because I let myself. I wasn't like, "Am I the only one in the theater doing this?" Like I just went. Here comes the waterworks. you
just kind of look at everybody and go, "You guys don't know what you're in for."
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Star Wars, multi-generational.
Yeah.
And it seems like each new generation gets their own sort of exposure to that. And on that note, I got a really cool message from a friend of mine who is recently retiring from the military, and his young son, Nathan Church, is a Star Wars fan. Now, Nathan just turned 6.
That's awesome.
And he just had a big super 6-year-old birthday party on the weekend. And Nathan's dad, Nick, he sent me some artwork, and he wanted to know if we could give a shout out to Nathan and show his artwork. And of course, there was no way I could say, no, we're never going to do that. Of course, we're going to do that.
Like Lucas said, Star Wars is
for kids. Check these out, guys. I love. Hold on a second. Let me change the layout here. Let me go over to this one. Check these out here. Oh,
yeah, man.
Some awesome character portraits. We've got Yoda and we've got Darth Vader. I've got a description here. Hang on a second. I've got to pull this open here, and I'm going to read it to you. I just got to find it here. Where is
that? Our first fan art? I think it might be our.
It is our first fan art.
Fantastic.
Where is it?
This makes me happier than you could ever imagine, actually.
So Nathan's dad, Nick, says that there's a lightsaber inside his walking stick, and there's an extra saber tucked in his cloak.
He's ready to go.
He's ready to go.
He is so ready to go. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but at 6 years old, when I drew Darth Vader, it did not look. You wouldn't know that it was Darth Vader, but that is awesome.
Yeah,
included the shine on the eyes.
I love that. There's the sheen on the helmet. The reflection in the lenses.
The buttons. The buttons on the breath device. Man, yeah, he's got it going on.
Awesome character portraits.
Facebook user says, "Kids got skills.
Kids got skills,
yes, sir."
Oh, follow-up comment. I didn't even know that Yoda had a backup.
Oh yeah,
man, he's Yoda.
He does.
Oh, that came up recently too. Jedi. Is it in the Young Jedi Adventures? Somebody noticed.
I thought it was in one of the books.
There's a different lightsaber.
Oh wow.
That Yoda is carrying a different lightsaber. I'm not sure. It could be the Young Jedi Adventure.
He's getting a new Black Series Force Effects release.
Yes, I did see that as well.
Yeah.
Sarah says, "Oh, so cute."
Yeah, very cute stuff.
It's amazing.
Listen, that being said, this could become our next regular installment.
Yeah, man.
You guys have got fan art out there. We'd love to
your art,
fan
send your
art.
kids' art, send your grandpa's art. Everybody,
post it up. You want to do a birthday shout out, an anniversary, or other special
Nathan,
occasion.
if you're watching, keep it up because don't stop drawing. That's serious talent.
Just like the Force, it gets stronger with use.
Oh man,
that's right.
Trust me.
All right, and a very happy birthday to Nathan. I hope you're having a great day, a great weekend, and a happy Mother's Day to your mom. And we look forward to seeing your next amazing character portraits of whoever they're going to be. Yeah. So make sure you pass those on to your dad and have your dad send them over. We'll be happy to show them off anytime. All right, where are we going next? Oh yeah, that little thing, Star Wars Visions.
Yeah, that thing.
Visions, chapter 2. If you're not familiar with Star Wars Visions, if this is your first time affiliate or coming to the show, these are non-canonical animated short segments that have been sort of handed off to various animation studios around the world.
You ever wonder what Star Wars would look like in anime? You will find out.
Absolutely. I didn't know that I needed a claymation Wookiee until I saw.
Yes.
I saw this one, and then I'm like, I'm totally sold. I'm absolutely sold. I need this in my life. So and now we do.
The season had more of a Sith-related vibe to it, though.
I agree.
It
was a lot darker.
I agree. I'm gonna take this down for a second. Just let's go back to us here for a second.
Yeah, it was a lot darker.
That's one of the things that what did I do wrong?
You're saying.
That's what I did wrong. Okay, there we go.
Right.
One of the things, and I don't want to call it a complaint because it's not really a complaint. If I was to criticize volume 2 of Visions, is that 3 of them, a full third of the episodes, essentially have a similar through line about a young girl who's force sensitive or force user that is essentially looking for a mentor type character. Now Now they're all handled differently,
Yes.
but essentially it's the same plot in 3 of them. So it's like, maybe they could
It
have
felt
shared.
the 3 of those shared a lot of similarity with me with
Yeah.
the first Ahsoka Tales episode of her being an infant, her birth
Right.
story.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
very similar. But Lauren and I were talking about this over breakfast, and I don't
Sure.
think that one studio know what the other studio was doing.
I
think
agree with
they,
that.
they were
Totally
given pretty
agree.
much carte blanche, and this is what they came up with in their respective vacuums.
Yeah,
So I think they
yeah,
just
yeah.
sort of hit on the zeitgeist of that idea. And the one thing and we'll get into it in the individual breakdowns, but the one thing I noticed that there's one episode where a child goes with a Jedi at the end, and it's kind of like sad. And then there's an episode where a child goes with a Sith, and I don't know if they even meant to have this, but you really realize that it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just you've just been inducted into a cult. And it's very interesting, as opposed to the very last episode where the little girl, the claymation one, the felt,
Yeah.
where she
That's
go,
actually
but she's
CGI.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
well, yeah,
for
no,
sure,
it
for sure.
absolutely is. It
They
absolutely
make them
is.
look like plush toys.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, like Little Big Planet style kind of
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
But that one, even though it has the same story and the same beat of the child leaving, her dad is like cool with it, and she's cool with it, and there's like a level of optimism as she's leaving, as opposed to the other ones,
The
where
other
they're
2
being,
that
like,
are like
dragged, kicking and screaming off. Realistically,
yeah. We've talked about child abduction on this show before.
yeah, it's a thing.
Looking at you, Andor. Marva.
Yeah, she saved him.
A quick question for you guys, and for those of you who are watching. Did you guys think when this was coming around that we would get any continuation from any of the Volume 1 episodes? Did you think that any of those were going to be
that we might? Because like there's a few you fall into, and it's like I want more.
Like the Ronin?
I had heard that we were getting less anime. I don't know how to word it. That they were going to be European studios,
right?
Well, they're definitely from all over Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a different set of animators. So I didn't think that there may be any crossover stuff. But there was some strong episodes this time. I'll tell you.
Absolutely.
I did not know what to expect, other than 9 more episodes of varying styles. Did I want some of them to be connected? I always want them to be connected. So was I disappointed by that? Not really. I mean, they seem to be. I mean, they were all kind of cool in their own way.
There were. There was a few of them where you fall into it, and it's like before you know it, it's over, and it's like, oh.
Yeah. Before we get into the breakdown now, just a follow-up question. Favorite episode of? Do you have a singular? If you had to just pick one, do you have a singular favorite episode from Volume 2?
If I had to pick
Volume 2,
favorite.
Yeah, last episode.
The very last one. That one is. Hold on a second.
The little girl who could sing "Always" song, or
do we know what?
All song.
Number 9. Ow song.
Ow song.
Right. Oh, I like that one too. Okay, Andy, what about you?
If I had to pick my favorite, it would probably be. What was it? Episode 4. I Am Your Mother.
I Am Your Mother.
Nice,
That's
nice.
the Wallace and Gromit style.
The racing.
Yes.
Okay, very interesting.
And that's not only did it sort of break formula with the style, it broke formula with, like, there's no Jedi, there's no, it had more in line with Resistance, like a watchable Resistance.
But it still connected it in that way, like universe wise, because they're like, hosted by Wedge Antilles.
Yeah. I did like that. I like the nod. I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
Surprisingly for me, the one that I liked the most, which is saying a lot, was Bandits of Golak, the one that's
the animation on
Indian
that one is
looking,
incredible.
Like the last thing that I watched. Oh man, he was so. I don't want to like racially stereotype anybody, but like that Inquisitor with an Indian flavor was so. like just drippingly evil in a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way. It was so good. But yeah, that one was my favorite. So yeah. Sarah says, no, but I would have liked a follow on from the 9th Jedi. Another good one. Probably that might even be my favorite from volume 1.
Yeah.
And I think that might be an issue going forward. Like, they're giving us such amazing content, and like it's a sampling.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen stuff like with anthologies before where they've hit on like crowd favorites, and then they've gone, well, let's try to develop this into something.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
These feel like role-playing games. Like, so I've always loved that. I don't know if you saw recently, Freddie Prinze Jr. went off again. Poor fellow.
I saw a headline
so much, but
and I didn't
get on my nerves.
What is there to say? I don't understand what there is to say.
Apart from saying he's never going to play Kanan Jarrus again. He's
dead.
He's literally, well, for sure. But I mean, he said, I didn't want to come back for Rise of Skywalker, and I didn't want to come back for Bad Batch, and I think they're diluting the character, and they don't owe me any more favors. Anyway, I'm going off track. Anyway,
is he Andrew Garfielding us?
I don't know. What he said was, though, is that all you people making Star Wars movies, what are you doing? The original. Make a character called Ahsoka Fano and just put a sword in her hand and tell your own damn stories. And he's being too blunt for these kids again. Remember his famous swearing at Star Wars fans rant? He's doing that again a bit. And this time at people making this, which is essentially fan fiction,
right?
Of the highest quality, and the kids that are getting jobs
based on this work,
right?
Like the kid that did all the backgrounds for Obi-Wan, they hired him.
Yeah,
have you seen that YouTube video?
No, but I know they hired Deepfake.
Yeah,
Lucasfilm hired Deepfake guy.
A guy redid all the backgrounds in Obi-Wan. Like on Mustafar. I mean, you got to look this up later. Okay. I'll try to find a link.
Yeah.
And it was so amazing what he did with his lighting and his filters and that they hired him on the spot.
Nice.
Isn't that something, eh?
Like, and so when a guy says, "Hey, don't reach for your dreams," I kind of like,
no.
Did anybody tell you that as you were becoming a child actor? I don't think.
Yeah,
they did.
really.
Like, so it's weird to me that a guy would do that. I know there's a place for being blunt and honest and straightforward, but there's also a place where you're like dealing with a lot of children who need support and like
optimism and hope.
Yeah.
So I would say
Star Wars is about hope,
right? And so I would say go ahead and make your fan fictions, especially like when you at this quality, at the quality of the stuff that's being made out there. I love people playing in this sandbox because it feels like a role-playing game to me.
I agree with you.
When it comes to that, there's no such thing as canon, and it doesn't bother me at all that you do whatever you want.
The whole canon versus not canon thing, maybe it doesn't bother me because I grew up on the original trilogy. I was a fan of the old expanded universe. The prequels came out. I was so happy to have new movies. I was a fan of those. But again, as somebody who grew up on role-playing games like you, Hank, I was telling my own Star Wars stories since I was 15 years old. So wrapping my head around this idea of like old canon, new canon, what is, what isn't, that's fine. Like, it's fine.
It's a relatively new thing too. Like realistically, like I don't think anybody ever laid it out to me that when I was reading Splinters of the Mind's Eye that it wasn't
part of the bigger story.
It was just a story in that sandbox, and if it didn't jive with the next novel, whatever, I maybe I had a moment's pause, but then I just moved on.
Yeah.
And so, and Dave Filoni has come out recently and said that canon's not as important as story.
Yeah, absolutely. I just saw a clip with him today. Actually, it was an older clip too, and he was talking about consulting with George Lucas on something over General Grievous. They were talking about General Grievous and why would this guy why would he allow himself to be, if he's this great general, why would he allow himself to be subjected to all this body modification by Count Dooku? And they went and talked to George about it. And they had a very interesting answer as to why he would do that. And it basically boiled down to because Grievous wanted to become a Jedi, but he couldn't use the Force. He didn't have any affinity with the Force. And so in order to make up for that, he submitted to body modification to be competitive
on that level
with a Jedi. Yeah, that's cool. Is
Yeah,
it
it's
canon?
pretty cool.
No, but who cares? It's cool. It's cool.
Got a comment.
What do we got? We got Glenn. Welcome to the show, Glenn. Thanks for hanging out. There's no canon anymore for all kinds of long-term intellectual properties. Every different interpretation of Robin Hood is still Robin Hood. No one cares. I wish it was that. I wish it was that simple. Maybe it's my own fault for sticking my nose into too many online groups. But if only it were that simple. I mean, I guess on some level it can be that.
No one
simple.
should care.
Right.
Yeah, no one should care, but unfortunately, you're going to get people going, why isn't Christian Slater in this? Why isn't Christian Slater swearing in this Robin Hood movie? This is not Robin Hood.
That's right.
Kevin Costner is my Robin Hood.
That's awesome. All right, well, let's get back to Visions, and let's hear. Let me put the slide. Oh wait, we got Glenn. Follow up from Glenn. Well, Star Wars is too young. Wait another 50.
Yeah, right.
Maybe that's like the James Bond thing.
Oh,
We're so many Bonds deep now, it doesn't matter anymore.
Does it really matter now?
Ovid's The Metamorphosis 2.
That's right. What is this one? Is this our generic one? That's not the right one. That's not the right one.
I might have screwed
That's
up.
fine. That's okay. We'll just leave it the way it is. What's this one?
Random Fandom.
Oh, there's some randomness in Halifax tonight, folks.
There is. Joys of living next to a hospital.
Hey, easy access.
All right, so here it is. Here's our little board here with all of the studios involved.
9 studios
in the new season.
Installment.
Sorry, Jesus, the new volume of episodes. I asked Andy to go ahead and put together a few slides for us, sort of the same way that we did the wrap-up episode for Mandalorian. So just a couple of slides for each episode to sort of encapsulate the episode, and then we have a sort of a brief bio, if you will, for each of the studios, so we can sort of talk about some of their other works,
and you get to a sense of where they're coming from,
where
their influences are.
Yeah. Well, listen, Andy, you put in the hard work. I'm gonna turn the con over to you.
All right.
And I'm gonna let you walk us through this.
All right.
And then we can all chime in, sort of
as necessary.
Experience this together.
Yeah. So our first episode out of the gate is called Sith. It is 16 minutes in runtime, and the synopsis for it read: a former Sith apprentice finds their peaceful life threatened.
Nice.
And I really like the animation in this one.
Yeah, man, a lot.
Like
a lot.
It was very organic the way, because like she's painting a lot, but it's the paint just kind of bubbles and goes where it will.
I had a hard time wrapping my head around it until we got towards the end of the episode, but like she is definitely painting with the Force.
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
And it was almost like her internal struggle was coming out. Like, why can't I get rid of this darkness? Well, because darkness is part of the balance. Darkness needs to be included.
Funny how we're circling back around to that whole balance thing that we at the end of Rebels, and I thought that's where the sequel trilogy is going. We're going to get this whole balance thing.
This is the least straightforward in terms of animation of all of them. Like, it's the artiest one, and it's the boldest one. I find
the artiest one, yeah,
no, definitely. But it has like it really feels like Into the Spider-Verse for me.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit,
you know what I mean? It's that fluid CG that almost feels like ink moving on the page. Like,
I get that. Yeah,
I want to see the new Turtles movie just based on that style.
Just for that, yeah, as well, yeah.
But it's from Algiri Studios. They specialize in pre-production and high-end CG animation. Leading the creative is founder Rodrigo Blas, award-winning animator and director known for his work on Troll Hunters, Wall-E, Up, and Finding Nemo.
Crazy.
A lot of Disney.
So a little bit of a departure from the
lot of Disney
style, but
and yet it almost all is even is Troll Hunters not a Disney production as well?
I don't think so.
I think it is. No, Pixar? No.
I don't know for sure. I know
that's a lot. And yet this is such a departure from all of those works. Interesting.
But yeah, she goes out, and it's unclear to me why exactly she goes out. I think it's like a broken sensor or something.
Yeah, I don't remember why.
Or she goes out and encounters, her Sith master.
And
his two goons or robots
Cool,
or whatever.
Magna Guard. I just love the capes on droids, man. I love,
Were
I
they
love
or
that
were
stuff.
they Magna Guards? I almost got the impression that they were like
somewhere around there.
KX security droids with
Something,
cloak or
yeah,
something,
some kind of in that range, yeah.
which almost, I mean, and these were little things that I look for too. Were there little visual cues that you could sort of like, oh, this is a roughly this time frame in the greater Star Wars universe?
I didn't see any cues like that. One thing I did pick up though was the sexualization of her.
Yeah.
Just when she's riding that circle bike or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
The Grievous mobile without the saw blade on
focusing in on it like they did on Batman The Dark Knight Rises, where Catwoman's riding the bike, right?
Yeah.
That shot behind her is like, but still, like
really necessary.
That whole sequence was still neat though, because like they put little treads in the outside of the bike, and you can watch it rip up the sand. And
I did enjoy that. That was another one too. The bike, these droids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This Sith Lord actually dope looking.
What do we think about the idea that somebody who has come back to the light? Now, we don't know this character's story. We don't know anything about her, how she broke away from this guy.
Just that she's out here trying to live a peaceful life.
Yeah, yeah. What do we think about that as a concept?
Well, it makes sense. Like, so both ways. You could picture kids running away from the Jedi Temple too.
Yeah.
Like you're essentially kidnapped and you're indoctrinated into a cult. And I can only imagine if the stuff that we hear about the way that Sith are trained, if we just use the way Palpatine trains Vader, or the way that we've seen Maul treated, or any of the Inquisitors treated, then it's a brutal life, and no wonder she's missing an arm.
Yeah. You
right?
can only, you almost kind of like, oh, it's a foregone conclusion that she lost it at the hands of this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a horribly brutal life. And you know, like that's the fact that there's just a random sort of Sith, I think that sets us way back in time, actually.
Sure.
Yeah.
Probably
before the rule of two.
Timeline wise. But the idea that your lessons are hate and fear and power, and that your graduation ceremony is trying to kill your master, and if you succeed, then your next step is to find the
congratulations
person that's going to kill you. Like, you know, what like at least the Jedi, who, you know, you get to live out your life, I guess, in more of like a, you know, fatherly or motherly sort of
sure yeah
environment, more of like a family. You know, this just seems like, and that, I mean, that's the idea, that you go through hell to become the devil.
Yeah
And it makes perfect sense
right,
that students would run away all the time from this. If stormtroopers are looking for the exit, the students of Sith Lords are definitely trying to get the frig out of there.
That's hilarious.
And unlike the Jedi, they will hunt you down to
right?
And we see that several times in this season 2, actually.
Yep.
Yeah. And it poses the question, you know, why did Vader stick around so long? Like, I mean, yes, he was driven by hate and motivation to kill the Emperor and everything, but
well, the Vader comic goes a long way to explaining why he ends up being Stockholm Syndrome, basically. He's every time he gets powerful enough to
do something about it,
he gets his wings clipped. Every time. Palpatine clips his wings. And like literally his first year, the movies don't do a good job of showing you, and because of they're too short. There's like, but he's treated like a child, like he's spanked routinely like a child. Like Palpatine really is an abusive.
I mean, that comic would be great. I mean, there's how many fans out there after Obi-Wan were screaming for a Vader series?
Yeah,
that comic book would make a great adaptation to the screen.
Yeah, and add just however many more layers to the character.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good. And then at the end, when you finally see her unleash the double-edged lightsaber, and it's
one of the coolest lightsabers I've ever seen.
Yeah. I could not. I stopped to look at this thing. I'm like, oh, it's like more like a cutlass. It's got a slight curve to it on both ends. Notice that one is red and the other is
yellow,
orange.
Yeah.
Would you say that was orange, or I was looking at more of a yellowish?
I'm thinking it goes back into that now that we've seen Ray Stevens' character, and his apprentice with their orangey sabers. It's like, oh, something but maybe something different.
Yeah.
Well, see, and it's that non-traditional, like even the red blades have that white center, and they've always had that ever since New Hope, and that has that different colored yellow orange body to it.
Yeah.
Even his sword edge on is like a broadsword. There's a scene where he turns
it was an actual like
right
with a face and a profile.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean the way the curves are offset like Asajj Ventress is. I've seen certainly we've seen people dual wield different colored sabers, but I don't think we've ever seen them connected into a multicolored double saber. It's really cool. It's hard to push that. It's been done so much, right? Like, just a laser sword. How can you make that different? Well, we're going to make it purple. That'll make it different. But it's hard to push that. They did a good job.
Yeah. Perfect symbol for the internal balance that she's finally achieved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's our first one.
So that was Sith. On a out of 10, where are you at with that one?
I'm probably at least a 7 or 8.
Yeah, I'm with you, but a 7.5.
Yeah,
7.5 on that one.
I'm an 8, 9 for them swinging for the fences artistically.
Oh, very, very interesting. Very good.
Number 2 out of the gate here is Screecher's Reach.
Cartoon Saloon.
Yeah, with a 15-minute runtime. And the synopsis is a young girl out on an adventure with her friends discovers a legendary cave with a dark pull.
Yep.
And right out of the gate, like, you're treated to this, but as they fly up the scene, like, it's all Empire dudes putting in like factory work.
Yeah.
And then you find out it's just children.
I got this vibe of like, I couldn't help but think that this was like somehow adjacent to Morgan Elsbeth's character when she was keeping the shipyards running in The Mandalorian.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, the one kid is, I don't want to say seeking a new life, but is being led towards it.
Yeah.
And the other ones are like, this is what it is. Be happy with what we got.
Did anybody cue to the talisman right away?
Just in the first scene there, yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty obsessed with clutching it all the time.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny because, I mean, we don't see many talismans like that in the Jedi, but again, going back to the role-playing game, they're
everywhere.
There are plenty in the dark side.
And they're low key in the sequel trilogy. Luke's got that. He's got a red kyber crystal in his box there on a string. Like, right. They're just low key in the background where like in the comics, artifacts are everywhere. In fact, we have Dr. Aphra, who's like whole thing is tracking down like Jedi and Sith artifacts. Right. And we have Andor, where Lucian is the
fulfilling that
artifact dealer.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. I mean, Jerso has the kyber crystal.
Her mother's kyber. Yeah.
They wrote out the fact that she was a Jedi just for sake, from the original script. But so it's a common theme that I don't think was touched on in the original movies so much.
Yeah,
but it makes perfect sense. Yeah, people. I mean, you look at other religions and they cling to sigils and
sure.
Things.
Yeah. Iconography. Want to talk us through Cartoon Saloon?
Yeah. Cartoon Saloon. It's an Irish animation film, short, and television studio based in Kilkenny, which provides film, TV, and short film services.
Yeah.
They're best known for their animated features, The Secret of Kells, Song of the Sea, The Breadwinner, and Wolf Walkers.
None of which I've ever seen.
I am not familiar
with any of those titles.
No.
But the lead character here is definitely
that. It was clear that she was definitely Irish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they go on like a bit of a Goonies type adventure, and
they do. They really do. Yeah.
And eventually they find their way to that cave, and they don't find anything good in there.
This was like, I mean, the obvious one is obviously this is like the cave on Dagobah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes and no, because the threat here is real.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Like whereas Yoda said, you don't need any weapons. You just take in what you go with you.
Only what you
Well,
take
so
with you.
I mean, do we think that if Luke loses that fight though, that something bad happens to him, even though Yoda said that?
Oh,
I don't know.
Well, like look at what happens with, say, the temple guards and the Inquisitors when like first Kanan Jarrus fights and wins against the temple guard and reveals himself to be the Force ghost, I guess, of the Grand Inquisitor.
Of the Grand Inquisitor.
Who's like purified his soul and now is going to defend him. So they're like the ghosts of Force, like, so you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no, I do.
Three Inquisitors fall there.
Yeah. It makes me wonder, Luke had that trial in the cave. Yoda's been hanging out there for 30 odd years. Did Yoda have a similar trial?
Probably.
Yes, he did. So did Kylo Ren. In fact, Kylo Ren destroys the tree.
Oh, wow.
Snoke takes him there for the same experience, and he destroys the
tree that's growing on the top of it.
Can't be used anymore. But that's the whole reason Yoda goes there in the first place, because the dark side is so powerful. It
masks him. Yeah, of course. Yeah, but as you said, Andy, the threat here is definitely real.
But at the same time, like with Yoda sending Luke in, if he knew he was going to be safe, it makes sense that a Sith Lord would send you somewhere you're not going to be safe. This is your test, and if you don't pass,
well, then you're not worthy of apprenticeship.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you on that one for sure. So yeah, threat real.
Real, absolutely.
Threat level 14.
Yeah. But then we get out and it's a weird ending because it doesn't feel like a Sith Lord coming to take you away.
It doesn't, but again, it's that whole.
That's exactly what I was saying earlier. Like,
yeah.
You
hear again, going to the Yoda analogy, you hear the words, easier, more seductive.
Yeah.
And
it's definitely like, catching more flies with honey here. It's like, oh yeah, I'm here. You've done well, and this is yours now.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like do we feel like the child thinks that she has a choice here? Because it's certainly that's the impression I get.
Yeah,
I don't think she does.
I don't think she does, but she is thinking she does.
Like, I've asked for this, and so I know I have to honor.
Now I have to go through with it.
Yeah. Like, they promised me a better life through this, and here I am. I might as well take it.
Like maybe again, going back to the talisman thing and the whole, like, whatever communication has been going on through that, like, she's been duped, right? And she thinks that she's going off on a better life, but really,
no. That's just it. That's another part of the films we don't get to see is Palpatine grooming Anakin from the time he's 10 years old.
Yeah. We should be watching your career very closely.
Yeah. But like it goes back to the fireside campfire talk they had before. Like, if you could get a better life, would you jump at it?
Right.
And then of course, the friends being all optimistic, like, dude, you got to go.
Yeah.
Take that shot.
I felt bad for them in the sense that it's like that. Yeah. I mean, those other two kids are going to be okay, but okay is a relative statement here because they're still slaves.
They're still going back to that Empire factory.
Yeah.
And they'll be in crap because they stole speeders to get to the cave.
Yeah, there is that minor detail.
Yeah.
Oops.
I like this next one. It was
absolutely. Screecher's Reach. If we had to score it, where are you at with that one?
6 out of 10.
Yeah, 6 out of 10.
Yeah, 6 out of 10 for me as well.
This next one I really liked. Episode 3, Into the Stars. 18-minute runtime. Synopsis is 2 sisters who are the last of their kind fight for survival when Imperial forces discover them.
I really like the style of this one.
I like the style.
The palette. Yeah.
This one is from what is this? Punk Robot Studio.
Yeah.
Where are these guys from?
Santiago, Chile.
Nice.
Santiago. Okay.
Yeah. But like it's CG, but it's got an organic feel to it.
Yeah. And then again, I couldn't figure out, and I guess I'm not necessarily meant to figure it out, but this ties back to the first one with the whole painting thing.
A little bit, yeah. But this is a more, in tuned with nature type painting.
I mean,
it's activated by starlight and the Empire has clouded the planet over with their.
If anything, I mean, this just speaks about Star Wars, about I guess using the role-playing analogy, alternative force using traditions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the thing that Lauren talks about all the time is that the Jedi and the Sith are boring. They do the same, like they don't have any imagination.
That's so true.
The things you could do with the Force. Like, I just pulled all of the iron out of your body with the Force.
Exactly.
I can fly in space.
Yeah.
And when they get to run without the tether of some of the rules, they can really create. Like in season 1, we get that kid riding an X-wing with a.
That's right. Yeah. The twins.
Star Destroyer in half.
Yeah.
200-foot lightsaber. But I mean, that's ridiculous a little bit. But do you know what I mean? You get to paint with a different palette.
I do. Yeah, I do. Absolutely get it.
We have the tradition of Force witches, like singing their spells.
Yeah.
We see that arcane magic and stuff. So we're seeing the light side sort of versions of those things.
Yeah.
Art and sort of life magic.
Tuned with nature and
super cool.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, though, how many other species did the Empire inadvertently or knowingly wipe out in their quest for resources?
Yeah.
Oh, countless.
Because these two are the last of their kind.
Yeah.
I would think that's a pretty common tale.
Yeah. But, the older sister, she has to break into the Imperial compound just to get clean water.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
Like, she's only going in there for as much as she can carry.
Mm-hmm.
So,
are we calling them a humanoid plant? With the wooden antlers sticking out of her.
Look like moose-like or something.
Almost, yeah.
Angry mooses.
I get that like the year 10,000 BC. You ever see that movie? I get that vibe, like Neanderthal, sort of like early civilization.
Yeah.
Pre-technological.
Although she looks like she's wearing some stormtrooper armor there, like she's.
Well, they've definitely been around long enough. They've scavenged and or slain or other.
They've survived.
But there's an interesting story here about their mom.
Yeah.
About what their mom would say to them.
And how they feel all alone because they can't see the stars.
Yeah.
And every now and again, like the clouds part a little bit and they get like just a hint of.
And yet without the is it the moonlight or the starlight?
It's the starlight.
Nothing. The paint does not.
It doesn't react.
I thought it just didn't work. Like it just was no longer there. Like it had somehow disintegrated, not realizing that like invisible ink. No, it's still there.
Yeah.
It's just you can't see it.
Yeah. And it takes multiple elements to get it going, right?
Like
starlight plus clean water. Plus
yeah. You got to have the living waters of Mandalore. Put a few drops on there.
Mm-hmm.
Get the mythosaur to lick it.
Or worse.
Punk Robot Studios. They're an animation studio based out of Santiago, Chile, founded by Antonia Herrera, Gabriel Orizo, Marie Soto Aguilar, and Pato Escala.
Okay.
Known for Bear Story.
All right.
Nahuel and the Magic Book, I Am Little Red, and Flipos. Unfortunately, I am not
more titles that I gotta tell you. Nope, it's no idea.
Yeah,
but,
it feels very much like claymation, like
a little. It's close to it.
Like
we're
the
bridging,
pace of it. Yeah,
we're bridging the gap between
styles.
The quality of the feathers on their stuff, like brilliant work.
Yeah. And the emotional beats of the little kid who's like, I'm going to use the Force.
Yeah.
Who's like, no, you're not using the Force. But then it turns out by the end
has no confidence in her.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. Do you get the feeling though that the older sister knew all along that they've known that she's a Force user? She's just held back based on what happened to their mom.
Probably.
Like she was afraid to use her power.
Yeah. Well, you bring attention to yourself. You bring
the
Empire to you.
Yeah.
And yet at the end, the two of them together.
Yeah. When the smog all clears and the starlight is finally visible.
I like the analogy that they become stars after death,
and then they're like, we're not alone. They are watching.
Yeah.
So
definitely dives headlong into the whole religious aspects of.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think? How would you rate this one?
This one artistically, artistically it rates higher than I think it does story wise. Artistically, it's a 9 for me. Story wise, it's a 7 or 8.
Yeah, I'm about the same boat.
I'm right there with you. Yeah, it's like definitely a 9 story wise. I love the scene taking out the ATST.
Yeah, and they're not like aiming for the ATST though.
No,
they're
no, it's great.
They're going for the whole damn show.
It's a little sneaky because you think, oh, nothing's happening. Maybe they don't have the force. Maybe they just believe,
Yeah.
And then actually, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. So episode 4, I Am Your Mother.
This is your favorite one.
This is my favorite.
All right.
14-minute runtime. Synopsis is young pilot Annie, embarrassed by her clingy mom, must team with her on a wild madcap academy race.
Nice.
It's from Aardman Studios.
Aardman.
So this one, is from our claymation folk over at Aardman.
Is that the studio that does Wallace and Gromit?
It is. Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, as soon as you see it, it's Wallace and Gromit. Yes,
yeah. I just wasn't sure if it was just the members of that, or if it was actually that studio.
Yeah, it's that studio.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Lauren says, my favorite.
I don't think you're alone in that one, Lauren. I think a lot of people like this. Again, when we saw the marketing for this,
told you so.
When we saw the marketing for this one, I'm like, claymation Wookiee. Yeah, that's all I needed to know. Then I'm like, okay, I have to see this.
Yeah. And like from the kid perspective, I get it. The clingy mom, and maybe they're not as well off as some of the other uppity.
Right.
And that comes across in spades.
I liked it a lot that they didn't go for the easy money, which is lightsabers and Jedi and Sith.
Yeah, they're going for like a pilot
based on
training
that.
academy.
I liked it a lot.
I like that the studio stayed true to form with their style of comedy.
Yes,
that they would take, in Wallace and Gromit and some of their other productions, Shaun the Sheep, Flushed Away, Chicken Run. They would use real world sort of situations or real world things, physical objects to do the comedy. And they've done the same thing here, but they've done like in-world Star Wars situations or in-world Star Wars things.
Yeah, like here where she's making her lunch, and it's that same stuff Ray was using where you add a couple drops and it just plops up. Except here it explodes all over.
And they break lore rules. Lauren pointed out when they land the ship in the middle of the race, at the start of the race, all her underwear and bras are flying out of the ship, and there's no underwear or bras in space. Right? So Lauren pointed that out today while we were rewatching.
Only for
brilliant. That is brilliant.
I like that the other racers are a visual play on other Star Wars vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Lauren says
bras and underwear in space.
But Aardman Animations Limited, they're a British animation studio based in Bristol, England, known for their films using stop motion and clay animation techniques like Chicken Run, Wallace and Gromit, Shaun the Sheep, and Flushed Away. And the amount of detail they pack into like every scene is just ridiculous.
There's a lot of density in this one.
Mm-hmm.
This one here, even the porta potties in the back, you got the small one for the Jawas, the medium-sized one for human, and then the Chewbacca-sized
the
one.
The Wookiee-sized one.
It's got a bandolier and everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What I liked about this one, too, is that of all of them, this one seemed to be the most self-aware. Like, it knows that it's telling a story about a kid who's at that awkward point in their life. Who's doesn't want, like, what kid at that age did not want their parent? No, mom, no. You just didn't want.
Don't embarrass me in front of the other kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was so aware of that. I liked it.
No,
but you also get like the other perspectives too of like the rich mom.
Yeah.
Like, you better succeed.
Oh yeah. As they pull up in their.
It's like an 80s ski movie.
Yeah. A little bit. Yeah.
That's right. That's hilarious.
But and the little dog who's got like the R2 head on
new droid. By the way, if there is ever a reason to want to borrow some of this stuff and pull it into canon, new droid there, Hasbro.
Yeah. executing the Ryloth roll there as a means to escape the mean kid.
Yeah.
Who's got like a little Death Star laser on hers.
Yeah, one of them is like the Nubian starship royal cruiser. One's like a little. You said the Death Star.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other ones, but there was a few of them that were like
nods to other stuff.
Yeah.
But the inclusion of Wedge Antilles being like the host and sponsor of the whole thing. Don't forget to go get your Wedge Antilles merchandise.
Hero of the rebellion.
Yep. But it ends on a good note, like a happy,
Yeah.
You know, there's almost like maybe it's because it's a Twi'lek kid, but there's like this, you can't think, but this is very Hera-like. It could have easily have been Hera that is that kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like as far as the mother character goes, it's kind of nice not to see her like be another. And I know they're like known throughout the galaxy for being the sexiest species out there.
Yeah.
But she's just a loving mother.
Yeah, just a mom. Just a mom. Yeah. I like the fact that they, and this is again, going back to the role playing thing. They live on their ship.
Yeah.
It's not just a car; it's their house.
Yeah. Multiple purpose.
Yeah.
How do you want to rate this one?
Oh my gosh. Hank, you go first. What do you think?
8. Solid 8, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. This one rates pretty high for me. Just because of the claymation Wookiee, I'm gonna give it a 9.
Ooh.
I'm at a I am also at a 9 for this one.
Nice.
Lauren says though that it should be an 11.
11. I'll give it a 9.5 for the wacky races analogy.
Yeah.
Little Easter eggs and everything.
For willing to go the the non-safe route, I would even bump it up to a 9. It's my second. I guess in retrospect, it's my second 9 so far.
Next up, episode 5, Journey to Darkhead. This is the longest one with 21-minute runtime. Synopsis is: a hopeful mechanic and disillusioned Jedi team up for an unlikely quest to turn the tide of war.
So this is the one that I watched through. I don't know how, and then I watched it and I went, "Whoa, this is actually wicked."
I feel like I did the same thing. That I was just kind of like I was present. I know my eyes witnessed it, but I'm not sure what I saw.
Yeah. So watching it the second time, I went, "What the hell was I paying attention to?" Because this one was dope.
Yeah. Like it starts off when the mechanic is young and she's like almost a prophet.
Yeah. Okay.
And they get their visions from these seeing stones and interpret what they mean and hope for the best. But then they do a bit of a time jump and she's grown up and Jedi enters the picture and he's been separated from his master by this Sith Lord. And this is why they send him on the mission to figure out more, I don't know, avenging, I guess.
Avenging? Yeah. Revenging?
Maybe. Well, no, he's not seeking revenge. He's a good guy.
That's why they changed the whole movie title.
Yeah. Revenging the Sith.
Revenge of the Jedi became Return.
Yeah. But, they duke it out on making their way up this dueling statue.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
One represents the light side, one represents the dark, and they think if they get rid of the dark, it'll tip the balance of everything just to the light. But
I had seen a thing online earlier this week where somebody was making an analogy between that statue to the one that we see fallen on Jeddah, that's sort of half buried in the desert. I'm like, I don't know about that, but that's a cool thought. It's a cool idea.
To crawl around on those in Jedi Survivor.
Oh wow! Oh
yeah,
really?
They're
on
really
Jeddah?
Big.
You get to go to Jeddah?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Still haven't played it.
Oh, it's so good, bro.
I don't have a machine that'll play it.
50 hours in. Anyway, let's stay on target.
Yeah, this one comes from Studio Mirko Limited. It's a South Korean animation studio based in Seoul. Among other works, the studio animated most of the American TV series The Legend of Korra.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
The 4th season of The Boondocks.
Okay.
The Netflix series Voltron Legendary Defender.
Voltron,
There
the
it
most
is.
amazing show in the universe.
And
There it
Mortal
is.
Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge.
Oh, that was good
Didn't see
too.
that one.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Okay, I have seen those.
I've seen there. That's the first studio, except for the Wallace and Gromit studio, where I've seen almost everything they've sort of done. Yeah,
I was a big
excellent.
fan of Legendary Defender, so like this fits
Yeah,
right
big
in.
time.
Yeah.
Now that you say that too, it really does feel that
More
level
in
of
that
animation.
vein.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. Yeah.
But they figure out that the vision she had when she was a child is her in between these two opponents. And, they aim to destroy the head until the last minute when they find out that it's shifting.
The statue.
Yeah. The statue is shifting between dark and light. So they can't destroy either one without destroying both.
The other. Yeah, right.
So,
well, again, that dips back into that whole balance thing, right?
yeah.
That
and
whole
it keeps it balanced.
can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
Mm.
But she ends up saving the Jedi after he defeats the Sith.
Yeah.
And it's pretty spectacular visuals.
Visually speaking, it's beautiful.
They go big with this, which makes it feel very Star Wars. Those big, huge vista shots and the way that they're as they're fighting on the ship, and it's like they're pulling back, and you get to see the scope of things, make it feel really Star Wars.
Yeah.
Aside from the colored lasers. Yeah. 8 out of 10 for me for sure.
I'm maybe a little bit lower than that, only because I haven't had a second watch through, and like I said, I was present for it and I know that I saw it, but I'm just like I don't know.
It's intense. Like when he wounds him, but they don't show it. It's kind of classy. Like he's got that, he carries that mouth wound for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm putting it at 7.5.
Okay, fair enough.
So next up, episode 6, Spy Dancer.
Oh, I really like this one.
19-minute runtime.
I really like this one.
Synopsis is: the premier dancer at an Imperial frequented cabaret is tested when her identity is compromised.
Yeah.
And
I loved the simplistic style of the Imperial stuff, like the fat stormtrooper.
Oh yeah,
yeah, but he's still like an asshole. Like, get out of my way, droid. Take me to my table.
Yeah. This is somewhere like it's somewhere between like Tintin and Caillou style.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more simplistic, but it's at the same time, it's still elegant.
Yeah. Did Lauren say that's a solid 88?
Yeah, the other one. 8. She meant 8.
Solid 88.
Yeah, that was the last episode.
Fingers Louis.
She pointed out on this episode, like being based, I think the studio's out of France, yeah?
Check your notes.
Paris. They're hidden in Paris somewhere.
Yeah. So she was quick to point out that this felt like the French underground, World War II French underground.
Oh yeah.
And that these are Nazis, and this is a cabaret, and that what the
very
artists
much
did
so.
Nazis, and that the underground was built by artists, and all the So
of course.
And then as soon as she said that, I went, "Wow, you're my favorite person in the world."
Yeah, this one comes to us from Studio La Cachette. It's an animation studio founded in 2014. They're hidden in Paris somewhere.
So relatively new.
And they're responsible for, and you will know this one, Jendy Tartakovsky's Primal.
Primal,
yeah, that's a great
The
cartoon.
College Noir and Mouilly.
So Primal's the only one that I'm aware of. I'm not familiar with the other ones. Primal does not look like this, by the way.
No, it's
more.
No. But like the flowing when she finally drops in and does her big fabric dance.
I totally got the Coruscant opera in this.
Yeah. I would bet you dollars to donuts that this was hand drawn.
You think so?
Could be very well.
I don't think anybody hand draws anything anymore. I mean,
You don't think?
I would be surprised. There's making it look like the hand drawn style, but I don't think anything is hand drawn anymore. I would be interesting. So one thing that we don't get in these behind the scenes, we didn't get it behind the scenes for Visions. I would like to know though.
Yeah,
we found out live animation was a real strain on the animator's wrists.
But yeah, she doubles as an agent for the Jedi and tags all these Imperials.
She's the Mata Hari, only she didn't kill anybody in this one. Not that we know of.
Well, then we get a flashback scene midway, and we find out that her child was stolen by Imperials.
Yeah.
And of course, she like instantly recognizes him when he's in the crowd. And it leads to the whole thing. Like, he doesn't even realize she's his mother.
Yeah, this one really got me right in the
Yeah.
It takes you like it took me a second
There's
anyway.
some
Like,
dark
oh crap,
stuff.
that's her son.
There's some dark.
Yeah,
and he doesn't
They took
know it.
one of his eyes so that he wouldn't know he had two different colored eyes.
And when he
They
takes his
removed
cap
his
off,
horns.
they're filed down. And
Yeah.
At the same time, though, Star Wars being, hope being a central theme.
Yeah.
The way that they leave it, you
Mhm.
have that sliver of like, well, maybe.
Yeah, she's given him a way to contact her.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she's tracing him so she won't lose.
Yeah, her son again for another
and
20
what
years or whatever.
If he were to turn, what a perfect, he's on the inside deep.
Yeah.
I would say ISB by the coat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What did we think of the performance of her actual performance?
It's
very Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
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 You can see Celine Dion playing the character, maybe.
And it is like when she does slip up, it's because she takes notice of him.
Yeah, and when she trips, she really trips.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the other performer.
Yeah.
Oh, the fight scene with the BX droid is dope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Using the ribbons to basically rip it apart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And because like we don't know any of the characters, the stakes are always high in all of these because people could die.
Could go at any time.
Exactly, that we don't have any sort of. There's no guarantee. Bless you, sir. There's no guarantee any of the. There's nothing to lose by killing a character off. Very cool.
Excuse me.
All good.
I'm supposed to choke on the water.
Lauren says you get the sense that she never falls. Yeah, no,
up until that point.
Flows
right
elegantly from spot to spot to spot.
Yeah.
All while doling out those little tracking devices.
She does a few, things that seem force assisted.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But where are you rating this one?
This one rates high for me. I like this one a lot.
Yeah.
I love the style. I love the story. It's a solid. It's an 8 for me.
Yeah, 8, 9 for me in that range. 8.5, I would say.
8 for me as well.
Yeah.
They're doing well. They're doing. Yeah. We haven't tanked anything yet.
Not yet. But next up, we have episode 7, The Bandits of Golak.
10. Oh, sorry. Sorry, what? What were we talking about?
88. Yeah, from 88 Pictures. 19-minute runtime on this one. And the synopsis is: pursued by the Empire, a boy and his force-sensitive younger sister seek refuge at a vibrant dhaba.
Yeah.
And like right out of the gate, the animation on this one is incredible.
Yeah, we're pushing photorealism with some of the textures on this. Yeah, I really love that.
Like even the teeth are starting to look.
It's like watching a video game.
Yeah.
Well, that's sort of how I felt.
It's like watching a video game.
Yeah.
Anybody see The Way of Water this year?
No.
The first 5 minutes, I thought I was watching an advertisement for an Avatar video game.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
But, they're on the train, and this part kind of threw me off. Like they're on the train going somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's an Imperial train, and there's still bandits trying to
hit it.
I guess hit it.
Rob
like
the train.
They never really say
what are they after.
Are they just trying to destroy the train, or
I don't know.
The only guy that manages to board the train gets a shot to the face for his trouble.
Yeah.
And we don't see him again.
No.
But they get to the drop-off point and eventually make their way out to the safe space. And
so this is the scariest looking Inquisitor ever. Is this the one that was done? Oh no, this isn't that's the next one that was done with Lucasfilm actually contributed to one of them, but it's not this one.
No.
I could have swore that Lucasfilm might have had a hand in this one, considering some of the animation assets like the speeder bikes and stuff from there looked very much like stuff we had seen in Rebels and Clone Wars.
A lot of Orabesh through this one too.
Tons. So much that I'm like, I can't keep up with all that. Did you try any of it?
I tried some of it. Some of it is like just basically Golak.
Oh, okay.
And Golak Tavern, I think, was one of them.
Oh, interesting. So again, Golak being the
Referencing back to
location.
the title.
Yeah.
From-
Like the guy in the background, we get a member of Terra Anube's species standing there in the background.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just love all of the flourish and the accents, and that like this couldn't be more Bollywood than it is. I
No.
love it.
Yeah.
At the same time, it could be a Clone Wars episode.
That's
Like,
what I
Yeah.
mean. Like
You
it
know what I
could
mean?
have been.
it holds up.
It really does. I would love to see, again, talking about those characters that you would love to see make the leap over. I'd love to see that Inquisitor turn up somewhere.
Yeah.
'Cause he's just terrifying.
But this one's from 88 Pictures. They're based out of Mumbai, India, and they're known for their work on Blue's Big City Adventure.
Oh, really?
Troll Hunters, Tales of Arcadia,
Okay.
Fast and Furious Spy Racers,
Spy Racers.
and Wizards.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I'm aware of a couple of those. Not that I've watched any.
yeah,
of them.
same boat here.
Yeah.
You know, we find out there is an elder Jedi present in the village,
Yeah.
and it's an epic
It
battle.
never even occurred to me that she was a Jedi.
No,
Not until this moment.
yeah, and she's like, "All right, get back,"
Yeah.
because the sister is force sensitive, and she's kind of drawing the attention to them.
Of course. I mean, that's
she's
what the
just being a
Inquisitor
kid,
is,
She
right?
keeps,
Yeah.
she can't help it. She gets nervous and she floats objects.
Or she's doing it playfully, like it's a fun
right.
thing.
She's
Yeah.
too young to realize
To
the
understand.
Yeah.
But the elder Jedi here just takes him out, and then eventually she's like, "You know what? You can be trained in the ways, so
Yeah.
if you want to, this is the way to go."
This whole thing, this underground path took me right back to Obi-Wan and the path.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And again, talking about some of these, how they could be adjacent to what's going on in canon. Man, this fits in so nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they're hunting down anybody Jedi sensitive, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah, you have to get Survivor somehow. You get to see the origins of the path.
Yeah.
yeah. So where are you rating this one?
Inquisitors make everything better in my mind. I love them. They're some of my
Nah.
favorite villains. So it's a 9.5 for me.
8.5 for me. Just because there's a couple elements, it's like, but
Yeah, that's fair.
what do you think, Hank?
Oh, sorry, 9. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, you froze up on us there for a minute.
Is he just sitting there like
9.
You do have to sit there for a minute and like really take in the
I know
animation on this one.
the amount of stuff that's there.
Yeah. But next up is The Pit, and this is the one that
that
teamed
Lucas
with
filmed.
Lucasfilm.
Yeah, okay.
Episode 8, The Pit. It has a 19-minute runtime. A synopsis is: a young prisoner forced to dig for Kyber by the Empire plans an escape for him and his people.
Right.
Oh, morning all. Hello, TJC.
Good morning, TJC. Welcome to the show, sir. We're talking Star Wars Visions, Volume 2. We're actually episode. Where are we at here?
We're episode 8. We're almost
8.
through.
We're almost through the all 9.
All 9.
All 9 of them.
Welcome.
Yeah, it starts out pretty easy. They take a bunch of slaves out into the desert to a marker and just force them to start digging. And it's crazy how deep they make them dig.
Yeah, they kind of like time lapse the whole thing,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
And by the end, well, they get down so far, they finally find some Kyber. And
visions
they're
of
like, "All right."
Christian Bale's Batman trying to escape.
Absolutely.
You got that too?
I got that right there. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like nobody makes the climb.
Yeah.
But eventually he does make the climb and makes the run for the city, and nobody gives a crap. He's like, "Listen to me, people, we need help."
Yeah.
And they just like,
that willingness
A
to
big city, you're just another crazy person
Yeah.
screaming on the
Yeah,
street.
yeah.
Did this
And-
feel like the 90s superhero cartoon animation to you guys? Like X-Men, Super Spider-Man, that kind of
A little
style?
bit.
Not to me,
Like,
not really.
Thundercats. That sort of-
Really? I didn't get that, but
No?
no, not really.
Yeah. But it is Japanese flavored, so
Yeah.
it's from
Look on the
Lucasfilm
edge.
Limited and Dart Shajijo.
I don't even know how to say that.
So I probably
Stahio? Stahio? Shtajio.
Yeah.
Stahio?
Maybe.
Okay.
But they're based in Tokyo. They're an American-owned 2D animation studio, creating authentic Japanese quality animations.
All right.
2D.
They've worked on the Snow Child music video for The Weeknd.
Okay.
Indigo Ignited and season 3 of Castlevania.
Oh, that was fantastic. I've seen Castlevania. That's great.
Yeah. You know, he gets dragged out of there by stormtroopers and unceremoniously just tossed back in the pit.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of brutal. Like instead of just shoot him outside the city, they walk him back. And
as I'm watching this, and as they're digging, and I remember saying it to myself, they're digging their own grave.
Yeah, they're not coming out of there.
No, and you don't get a sense of how long they've been down there for, but they dug that with ostensibly what looked like hand tools.
And like, where did the dirt go?
The droids hauled it off. I don't know.
There doesn't appear to be any sort of conveyor taking anything back to the surface.
Maybe it was used in the construction of that city in the background. I don't know.
Right.
Well, they do say it's like a Kyber city, right?
Made of Kyber?
Or powered by.
Yeah, I guess so.
But eventually, after his death, right, people down in the hole, they're like, we can't lose hope. We just got
right.
And they start calling out, and eventually the people from the city take notice and march out. And
they start. Do you remember what they chant?
Follow the light.
Yeah, follow the light.
Follow the light.
Yeah.
And the 12 stormtroopers, they cannot stop the entire city.
Funny that there's only 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
where's the rest of the garrison?
And then you get this like little heartbreaking moment too, right? Like the lights all come to the edge, and they hear them down there.
Yeah, and then they all leave. They all leave.
They don't care.
That's what I
Fireworks
thought.
are over.
I actually thought, oh my God, they're so ignorant. They just don't care.
Yeah, but then they do come back in ships and save them. So
came back with our Tron-style hover buses.
Mm-hmm.
And you see what a big hole it is because 3 ships can just land in it.
Yeah, comfortably float down and land there.
People are super. I want to hire these people. I will pay them. They don't have to be slaves.
I need a hole in my backyard.
Yeah. And it doesn't cave in either, right?
But, I mean, that young girl, she's pretty young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, so possibility was
she born down there? Oh, no. I never thought, maybe.
Cheapers.
Yeah. Where are you rating this one?
This one for me, this one might be, I liked it. I like that it maintains that sort of hope is this purveying theme, but this one's pretty low for me. This is probably a 6 for me.
6.5.
I'm in that wheelhouse. 6, 7, somewhere in there.
Yeah. None of them, like, I just want to be clear. None of them are bad.
No,
not at all. No,
it's just
some of them hook you.
My personal.
It's like our scale doesn't go below 5, so I guess 6 is pretty bad. From 1 to a 5, it's a 1, but
it's a 6 out of 10. Oh yeah, what's your scale? It's a 6 out of 10 scale. It's a 6 to 10 scale. Sorry.
There you go. That brings us to our last one. Yeah, our last episode. Oh, Lauren says the whole thing seemed a little implausible.
But it was okay. Yeah, I agree. Space wizards and laser swords.
And some laser pickaxes. Episode 9.
I like this one. I like this one a lot.
18-minute runtime.
My favorite.
And synopsis: a child who longs to sing must stay quiet because her voice can cause great calamity in the mines.
Isn't that something, eh?
Yeah.
Like what is she? Is she Black Bolt? Who is she?
Yeah.
This would be those alternative force users.
Yeah, alternate force using traditions. Exactly. Yeah.
Because she's got a connection that nobody else kind of realizes it.
And then, we've heard this term before, though, especially in relation to Kyber singing to a force user.
Mm-hmm.
So now we've got sort of the inverse of that.
Yeah. Well, they say the Empire comes in and corrupted all the Kyber on the planet.
Yeah, I'd like to see how that happened.
Yeah.
The entire planet's worth. What did they do?
Yeah. Because there's still good beings on the planet like her.
Yeah, I think the average, person that lives here day in, day out isn't, like big bad evil empire. They're just people going about their life.
But at the same time, they're still mining the Kyber, right?
Yeah.
But when her father is presenting one to a Jedi, she's peeking in out the window, and you kind of see that connection going on.
Yeah, she's drawn to it. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like a battle of the Force.
Yeah,
between the dark and the light side.
Her innate ability, like her spirit, is trying to cleanse that crystal right now.
Yeah, and the father doesn't realize it. He just thinks she's activating it some way.
Yeah, like she's gonna somehow gonna blow it up or whatever.
Yeah. Well, because his hand does get burned, right?
That's true.
Yeah. So this one comes to us from Triggerfish.
All right.
They're a computer animation film studio based in Cape Town, South Africa. And Galway, Ireland.
Oh,
cool.
So the studio is best known for their animated feature films, Adventures in Zambiza, Kumba, and SEAL Team.
I wonder if SEAL Team is actual SEALs.
Maybe. As well as the work they've done on TV specials created for UK producers Magic Light Pictures.
All right, I'm going to find out.
Kumba sounds really familiar. I don't know why. It's just that name sounds really familiar.
Yeah. But eventually, it calls to her, and father goes off to mine the Khyber, and she goes off to jump into the mines as well. And she starts singing, and the whole mountain activates.
Cool.
But like the way they animate it, and they show like the auras of the crystals reacting to her aura. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I really like it.
There is a SEAL Team animated film, and
that might be it.
The SEALs are actually like
SEALs
shown to be like. Let me turn this down here so you can actually make this out. They're shown to be like actual like
SEALs,
like actual Navy SEAls.
Nice.
Yeah, but eventually she sings and cures the mountain, and the Jedi returns, and the father's like, I've always known you were destined for bigger things.
And she not only does she cure the mountain, she doesn't do what normal Jedi do to purify a crystal. Like she turns them white like Ahsoka.
Yeah.
She doesn't turn them blue or green like with her energy. She purifies them with her. And it has the identical ending as 2 of the other episodes, but it's the
much
take
more
on
hopeful.
it is so much, yeah, she's like,
it's like, oh, you can clear Khyber. All right.
You
can be light.
You go, here's in 15, 20 years, here's a noble Jedi Knight. Here's a, you know what I mean? Like, here's one of our best.
Yeah.
Do we think we've seen this species before in any other medium? Is this a new species? Because I really love the plushie.
It's almost like a bear.
I need a plushie kitty cat thing. I don't know what you call
bear
this.
type.
Yeah.
She's got the tendrils like sort of like Adiagalia.
I dig it though.
Yeah,
super dig it.
Yeah,
10 out of 10 for me. This one.
Oh man, are we there already?
Really?
Yeah, we're there.
Oh my gosh. 9.5 for me. 9.5. Yeah.
9 for me as well.
Yeah. I don't think any of them were solid 10s. But they were all like, they were all.
The only reason I put this one at a 10 really was to sort of because I liked it better than all the other ones, but they're all super close. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I do. I hear you. I hear you on that one.
For me, this is the 10 of my favorite. My 10.
Nice.
Sure.
Again, so now this is the second volume of Visions. Presumably there may be more of these to look forward to down the road. By the time,
great way to like create a talent pool.
Yeah.
Right? like
and if they need an original thread like story.
I was going to say, by the time we farmed it out to all of the other animation studios that should get a kick at this, do we go back to that, as I said before, and continue some of the stories that we've seen in the first 2 volumes?
Yeah, absolutely.
The Ronin got a novel. I think that's the furthest we've gotten yet with anything from Visions.
Yeah.
Well,
see how far they go with this.
Well, I mean, we've already had our kick. This is actually our second kick at Visions. Third, if you want to include our own episode of Star Wars Visions, sort of inspired by what happened with Dark Horse Comics. We did our own version of Star Wars Infinities. You can go back through I think it's in our back catalog. We can link it to this video if we want to. It's our kick at Infinities at a Star Wars What If, as a lot of people have been sort of likening these Visions episodes to What Ifs, where each of us took a crack at a what if. And so I would encourage you to go and check that video out, as it was a lot of fun making that.
Doug says it's a great way to hash out ideas.
It is a great way to hash out ideas.
Oh, big time.
Absolutely it is. Man, what are we going to do next week?
I don't know. You guys got an idea out there.
I'm getting too far ahead of myself. We got to get to Tuesday before we can get to.
Oh, there's lots to talk about Tuesday.
Oh, taking notes already, are you?
Yep.
All right. Well, listen, I don't think I've got any more to chew on tonight.
No, I'm about
pretty visionary. No, that was pretty visionary. I mean, it's funny. You sit there and you go, "Oh, that was pretty good. I enjoyed it." And then you go through every episode and you go, "Yeah, that was a 7. That was an 8. That was a 9. That was." So I'd have to say, we probably, the three of us, would have to say that whole season was an 8 out of 10.
As a whole season, yeah,
yeah,
I would say so as well.
Which is high, which is like that's excellent entertainment.
That is better than some seasons of Clone Wars.
Yeah, definitely better than season 1. Snips.
Sky Guy. Tui. I can't do it.
Tui was the worst. Yeah.
I can't do it. It was so bad. How did such a great character start off so bad?
I don't know. Because we were patient. We were patient.
It's true. Yes. Patience, is what it would say. All right. Well, listen. That's it for us on this Sunday night. Thanks again for those of you who came to hang out with us. We always appreciate you on these journeys. Appreciate all the comments that we got tonight. Lauren, Doug, TJC, thank you for hanging out with us. Unidentified Facebook user that still has to go and check these out. Go do that. Go back and check out our Infinities video. Do come back on Tuesday night when we reconvene for our random fandom Tuesdays, where the topic could be anything that's popped up in the last week or so.
Yep.
In the meantime, head on over to all these locations over here, and you can check us out on all of those. Every like helps, even if you don't want to subscribe to the channel, that's fine. But every like helps. So even if you just like this video or throw an
send us your fan
something
art
on there, yes, do send us your
fan art.
Let's go back and let's put that up one more time because it was so good. We're gonna go back and look at Nathan's artwork here. Let me switch us over here. What did I do?
You
did the wrong thing. There it is. Bam. There we go.
Yeah.
If you've got fan art, or you've got a little one that has fan art, we'd love to see it. You can send it over to the show at fandompower3@gmail.com. You can send it through Facebook Messenger. You can message our Facebook page directly, or you can hit any one of us up on our individual socials.
And we will throw that up in the group. We should throw that up in the group.
Yes, I will do that as soon as we get off. That's exactly what I will do.
Great work, Nathan.
All right, guys. Well, until Tuesday night, let me take this out of here. Until Tuesday night when we reconvene, that's it for me.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Until the next one for Fandom Power, my name is Wes.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Hank.
And we will see you on the next one. Bye for now.